So this book will be released later this year?
Yeah, hopefully. I'm going to be talking to an Italian publisher, and there's another couple of publishers, so I don't know if it's going to be released by one publisher or if it's going to be licensed into different territories yet.
Okay.
The book is probably about halfway through finished, but it's for me it's more complicated than even putting an album together, because you've got to check dates and all this kind of stuff, and there's just so much writing involved. And one thing leads to another. Your memory gets jogged about certain incidents, and there's a lot to go in there. And it's not just concentrating on the Venom thing either. I'm taking it from day one. When I was born, all the way through my early childhood. The influences. It's basically my life story with with the Venom thing in it as well. So it's from beginning to where we are today, really. Yeah, I've spoke to a lot of people. I've had a lot of contributors to the book as well. But speaking to people like Eric Cook, who was the Venom manager, and my long-time friend, who I'm still in touch with, Gordon Atkinson, who was the first Venom drum roadie in the early days. I suppose in the heyday when we were playing all the big venues. He was there when Metallica supported us. He was there at the early shows in America, right way through the 7 Days of Hell tours. And he can recall things that I can't remember, and I can recall things he can't remember. And then when you get together and you start talking about things, then you just bounce off each other, and it's like, fuck, you tend to forget these things. And there's a lot of photographs that Gordon had taken on sort of little disposable cameras, which he never developed. So we bought a digital converter, and we've converted all these photographs, which have never even been developed yet.
Wow. And
looking at some of the shots, it's a fucking, it brings back some memories. So, even looking at these early photographs, you're being reminded of things that happened. It's, looking at locations, concerts, who you were with at the time and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting for anybody who's actually into the true history of the band. So I'm looking forward to seeing it come out.
And I suppose not only the band, automatically also the scene at the time. The music scene at that time. Yeah, go ahead.
There was a lot of great bands around in the Northeast at that point, yeah.
I wanted to ask, when you returned to Venom, you had also invited another guitarist to join you at around 1989, and in fact it's not the first time that you've shared guitar duties with another musician. So how do you feel more comfortable, when you're just yourself playing guitar, or? That all came about because the guy you're talking about is Al Barnes, and he was actually part of the Winds of Change project, and it was when that album was released and we were sort of due to do some shows, we had the band together and everything, that I got the call to go back to Venom, and at first I refused, but Eric and Abaddon were sort of quite persistent about it, so eventually I agreed. I said, well, what about having another guitarist in? So Al came along. For Venom, I don't think it works with another guitarist, to be perfectly honest. I mean, Al did a great job, but just personally, I think the Venom lineup is a three-piece, to be perfectly honest. But having said that, the other project that I've got called Drill, there was two guitarists in there, myself and a guy called Andy Metcalf, and I thoroughly enjoyed being with another guitarist. It gives you more scope to do things. And when I did the Mantas project, I had Simon Mars as my second guitarist, and again, it was great. It gives you a fuller sound, obviously, But I don't mind either way, to be perfectly honest. But with M-Pire, it definitely works with just the three of us. That's it. We did consider. We've had offers from other guitarists who want to join us, to be perfectly honest. And we had considered maybe bringing in another guitarist in for the future, but it's still an option, I suppose. But
you know, at the end of the day, we look at the footage from recent tours and concerts that we've done, and we think, that doesn't need it. You know, M-Pire is the three of us. That's it. You know, so. But for me personally, it doesn't bother me whether I'm on my own or if there's somebody else there. You know, it's good either way.
Okay, just a couple of more questions. Do you find the demands of fans who want to hear you play old Venom material at odds with your urge to be creative?
No, absolutely not. I mean, we've had this with the M-Pire thing. We've had this all the time. You know, we've had some fans saying, "Oh, why do you play the Venom stuff? You know, you should leave more room for M-Pire songs in the set." And then, you know, there's other fans who are, you know, totally happy to see us play the old Venom classics. But at the end of the day, I wrote those songs. If I want to play them, I'll fucking play them. And I enjoy playing them, and I think we play them well. So, you know, we've got the best of both worlds there. It's the same as, you know, Ace Frehley from Kiss. It doesn't matter how many songs to us that guy does. He will always have to play Cold Gin. He'll always have to play some Kiss numbers.
Yeah,
so, you know, you've basically got two guys in M-Pire who were part of Venom. One was the founder member, and one was the vocalist for 3 albums. So yeah, people want to hear Venom songs. So yeah, we're going to play them. Simple as that.
You've been involved in a wide variety of music genres, but is there any other musical activity outside of metal you'd be interested in doing, given the opportunity?
Well, that's a good question. I've had that question quite a few times, and to be perfectly honest, I really want to do a blues album.
Blues? Okay.
Yeah, a good heavy blues album. It was one of the reasons that I wrote Devil for the first M-Pire album. I mean, everything comes from the blues. I mean, you know, and if you analyse the early Venom songs, you know, of Welcome to Hell and Black Metal, I mean, you know, it's all rock and roll and blues licks. You know, whatever I did different to them, I don't know. It's just the way that it came out. But I'm a big fan of the blues. I love the blues. I love classic rock. I love southern rock. You know, again, it's that guitar-driven thing for me. So yeah, I would love. I mean, I've got the guy I was talking about before, Gordon Atkinson. He's got an amazing blues voice. So we've actually recorded 10 songs. And I think we're planning on doing more, you know. But yeah, I would love to do a good heavy blues album. You know, I think it just does something for me. I mean, metal is always and always will be my first love. But like I say, I'm not tunnel visioned. You know, I'm not a one-trick pony. I think, you know, Tony put it perfectly. He says there are people who are in a band, who need to be in a band, and then there are musicians and songwriters. And I would love to think that, you know, now, you know, at the age I am, that I'm more of a musician and a songwriter than, you know, having an absolute necessity to be part of one particular thing. I love all genres of music. Music is my life at the end of the day. And I mean, where I'm living at the moment, there's a dog rescue centre close by, and I had so many songs, instrumental guitar songs, sitting on hard drives on the computer, and I thought, you know, why not do something with them? So what I've done is I've been releasing one song per month, which is up on my website, and 50% of all the proceeds, it's €1 for a song, 50% of everything that is getting earned is going to go to the dog centre, because it's all self-funded, and they do an amazing job. We've got a rescue dog ourselves, me and my girlfriend. So I thought, rather than this music just sit there and gather dust, you know, get it out there, let it be heard. So it's all guitar instrumentals. I'm doing them as and when I've got the time. I've got another one to release shortly. But that's all it is. It's just, you know, you pay €1, you get the MP3, and 50% of that is going to go and help some, you know, unfortunate animals.
And this is all on your website?
Yeah, it's all on the Mantas website, yeah.
Jeff Dunn, or rather, should I say Mantas, thank you for your time in answering my questions, and best of luck for all your musical endeavours.
Thanks very much. Good interview. Thank you so much. Cheers now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.